Wonder Swan. Wonder Swan. Wonder Swan. Wonder Swan.
Sounds like a legendary Pokemon or something.
Wrong.
It was Bandai's attempt to get a piece of the handheld video game market. We take a look today on GameCoon. After the inevitable failure of the Virtual Boy, Gunpei Yokoi, the father of the original Game Boy, left Nintendo and began work on the original Wonderswan to be released in 1999. And because black and white sucks, this is the Wonderswan Color. Let's take a look, shall we?
This thing is small and light, only slightly bigger than an iPhone 5, and with a wide color screen. You'll notice it only takes one AA battery. If you've seen my review of the Game Boy Light, you know I'm a big fan of the AA. Flip it back over and you see a whole pile of buttons on the left side. That's because while some games play in horizontal mode, others go full vertical. I think this was the first system to do it, and that's pretty damn innovative. The sound on the Wonderswan Color isn't terrible either, but it's a little bit tinny. Ah, listen to those sweet Final Fantasy melodies. It's actually quite loud for how small it is. This thing's far from perfect though. You'll notice it doesn't have a dedicated headphone port, only this weird sort of extension port. In order to use this for anything, you have to buy a separate adapter for each function, and nowadays those are nearly impossible to find. In addition, as you may have noticed already, the screen is incredibly difficult to see. There's a lot of ghosting and it's pretty much impossible to play in the dark. This was resolved later with the Swan Crystal, which featured a nicer screen, but as it is, it can be difficult to play.
The startup sounds is one of my favorite. Just listen. There's a problem though. You can't turn that startup sound off. How is a little Japanese kid supposed to be able to play this in class without getting busted?
The remakes for Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 4 are awesome, but nowadays can be found for the Game Boy Advance and DS much more easily. As well, they're in all Japanese, so they can be tough if you've never played them before. Just keep mashing attack and you'll be okay though. Gunpei is a puzzle game where you match up the lines to make combos. It's simplistic for sure, but definitely addicting. Another one of my favorites is One Piece, Battle Swan Coliseum. There are a ton of games for the Wonderswan based on anime properties, and this is one of the best. It's a simple 2D fighter where you can pick your favorite character from the series and go to town. Oh, and no Japanese language skills necessary. Big thumbs up. This was just a quick overview of some of my favorites. I'll put out some complete reviews of these and more in the future, so make sure you subscribe to get all the updates.
So, should you get it? The system itself is only about $30 online, which is pretty cheap. However, the majority of games are in all Japanese, usually RPGs or text adventures. So if your Japanese skills are lacking, then it might be a bit of a barrier for you. There are, however, some really good games available for it, such as Klonoa, a Mega Man game, and Judgment Silver Sword, a shoot 'em up. However, those can get a little bit pricey and are quite hard to find. But if you gotta have that crazy Japanese crap, then you could certainly do a lot worse than the Wonderswan Color.